Hey guys, we are going into our next match, Impact versus Vicious. I am here with Parker Rosenthal in the Vicious Pit. You guys had a rough time at MAO. It was in the field for you. Is this field layout playing better for you, and is it better for your strengths?
Yeah, we like this setup a lot better. We like to play faster. We like to make those quick moves, try to put the other team on their heels and get those wins. So last field was just sit and hold zones, and we don't really like to do that. So this field, I think, will work out a lot better for us.
We have seen some of the top teams stay in their bunks and kind of slow the pace of the game down. Are you guys planning on being a lot more aggressive than we've been seeing earlier today?
We'd like to be. It really depends on how the first 30 seconds of a point go. I mean, we want to get those good spots first and put them on their heels and push through. But if we lose a guy or two, we're probably going to be put in that position as well. So
absolutely. When the layout was released, everyone was talking about the A and all the bunkers around the A and that whole situation. We haven't seen a lot of players go to the A and utilize it. Is it difficult to utilize?
Yeah, there's a lot of areas where you can get shot from. I mean, the only way you can really play it well is you got to kill a corner, and that way you can kind of control it. But it just, there's also a lot of bunkers close together, so you can get a lot of bounce shots in there. So you just got to be careful in there.
Absolutely. Okay, coming up, Impact versus Vicious. We'll see who gets the first point. Back to you guys.
So here we go. We are heading into some more games here in the afternoon's division. The 2014 PSP Chicago Open, Matty Marshall with Nick Sloviak from Houston Heat and Chris Lasoya. So Vicious and Impact, two teams that have already taken second place at events this year. Vicious took second place at the first event in Dallas, and then at the last event in Maryland, the Mid-Atlantic Open, Impact took second to Dynasty. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Impact? Is it going to be Vicious? These two evenly matched teams are about to throw down. Just about 30 seconds to go for the start of the first point. Getting a start from Vicious, the rookie, Nate Schrader, Brian Bortle, Trevin Reeser, Matt Sossman, and Zach Sherman. The core of Vicious has been what's keeping them, was what has kind of catapulted them to another level, with Sherman and Parker and Trevor Reeser and Colby just really stepping it up. And their new pickups, highly talented, highly motivated. Can't wait to see what they're going to bring. On the flip side, Edmonton Impact, the Yakmek brothers, Zach and Zane, both on the field right now. They're playing phenomenal this year. They got the two Justins, Rabakoff and Cornell, and then the legend, Dave Bain. So here we go on the breakout. Heavy guns up on the break for Impact, but they are able to get Justin Cornell into Snake 2. Vicious, much slower break for them. They do lose a body off the break, and it's Nate Schrader, the rookie, getting taken out. Get shot by Dave Baines on that D side of the field. Justin Cornell to the 50-yard line on your screen right now.
And there goes another one. That's Chris Hooker and 31. That goes Trevor Reeser. Matthew Sossman also taking the walk down to Brian Bortle and Zach Sherman.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Zane's seeing that on the Drudo side to go to town with, I think, Dave Baines right behind him, and that's what you need, that applied pressure. And I think Zane peels off that last Vicious body in the Snake corner. But I'll tell you one thing, if we're going to see this some more, you cannot have two bodies in that Drudo can when they're in the Snake. You can barely have one guy in there, but having two, especially with, Sossman and Zach Sherman, no bueno, no good.
Well, not looking good, that first point for Vicious. They lose 5 guys. Impact, no deaths for them. So, but that's the thing. It's tough because, we've seen some teams starting to double up those bunkers, but you cannot spend much time there at all. You have to get out wide on this field. You got to get up the field because, like you just said, if you get any penetration, Snake side, D side, you're doomed with 2 guys in those standouts.
Especially when you don't produce any kills, which they didn't.
Well, that's
do.
the whole reason you do that.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know if it was Sossman or whoever was in that Drudo can, but you can see Justin Cornell leave that Snake corner and dive into the Snake. There's a lane there. There's a gap there. So as soon as you see that guy do that, you got to, hey, now it's time for me to peace out. Either come back in and support your Snake side, or get the guy that's in there with you to get into that Drudo 1 or to the corner so you can switch and play heads up on the Drudo tape, because it's going to get tight in there really quick, and those are 2 big boys in a little can.
Yeah, so we'll see if Vicious can get on the board here. Score 1-0. We'll be right back after this.
This isn't just a field. This is my home. This isn't just a team. This is my family. This isn't just a sport. This is a way of life. This isn't just a league. This is the MSXL.
And there there is the rookie Nate Schrader. Actually, just did an awesome podcast with Marcelo Margot and Nate Schrader before this event. So definitely head to Paintball Access and check out that podcast. And Nate's a character, man. He's got an awesome video of when he was on the Ironman in a Mexican standoff against the brutal Mike McCormick, and he won that. So anyway, here we go on the breakout. Look at this, though, man. Edmonton Impact. Justin Cornell is just tearing people to pieces in this snake. Fast, aggressive, past the 50-yard line, backed up by another stunner and an attacker, and then Justin Rabikoff, and a major penalty is not going to help Omaha Vicious's case here. And another shutout, Nick.
I mean, if you want to learn how to play the snake, you should watch Justin Cornell this entire match. Because I guarantee you he's going to do the same thing over and over and over again.
And why would you stop until somebody stops you? I mean,
and that's, you know what, that's what we were saying.
Good
that's
point.
what we were saying your Tampa Bay Damage game when they were going to the snake on the break every point. It's like come on, guys. Let's wake up.
Like
Let's shoot this dude.
Holiday is running and cannonballing to the snake every single point. Can somebody shoot him, please?
Yeah.
You know what he's going to do.
You draw enough guns on this snake, and it's not so much that, hey, he made the snake, but once you get into that snake, you could pop up anywhere if you do not match that guy. You could pop up in the 50. You could pop up in your side of the snake. You could pop up anywhere. So you got to shoot that guy or match him to stop him from going around the snake 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah, and as the positions that you and I have had to play before, that makes it so tough mentally, because you're like, okay, they made the snake, we missed him, and then now you're trying to play, but in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, well, where's he gonna? It's like whack-a-mole. Which side? Where is he gonna pop up? You know, is it here? Is it there?
So
like
funny.
where is he? And then that's the problem, because then you don't know where to put your gun, and the only way to get that is to time the pop up. And if you don't have anyone there doing battle and keeping him honest, it's gonna be really tough. And that's what Justin Cornell has just been doing, doing a little river dance over here on this side, just decimating
He just
him.
like popped up and
just going to town. So the two Justins are handling business over here. Not looking good for Vicious early on. We'll be right back after this.
This is the Earth. The Earth is beautiful. Earth is where we play paintball. It is important to recycle in order to save the Earth. Do not recycle custom paintball jersey designs. Get what you pay for. Get a fresh original design at rosalife.com.
Ooh, bad start for Impact here. So this might actually be the chance. We will see.
They did. A couple of guys might have jumped a little early, but he tagged up. We had 2 points for us. 1 point against X Factor and 1 point against Damage, where our guys jumped early, and we lost some bodies on that.
But they stayed alive, though.
They did stay alive. He tagged. I think Zach tagged back up, and he's looking good. You see Impact getting those kills and pushing the middle. Zane's doing some work up there.
It also doesn't help that they were only looking at 4 guns, or it doesn't help Vicious that they only had 4 guns. So even on the tag up, but still, Impact looks real good right now, man. They look real solid. Here comes Justin Rabikoff making his way here down the snake side. They got Yakmek up there in the center, putting a lot of pressure over here on Colby. Colby forced to get as small as he possibly can. No one is watching over for him, and it is
which is surprising. I'm gonna wonder why Justin hasn't gone down and taken him out. Because he could at any point right now. You can see Shane. His gun's not even in a position really now to shoot down the tape. It's kind of pointed angle down.
Well, I think he's just being extra careful. They have the lead. They don't want to do any stupid things and throw it away. And a huge move all the way. I think that was Danny Park. It was Danny Park making the move over here. And then Rabikoff, did he trade out with Colby?
No, he's hanging the flag. Well, let's hope he's not hit.
No, he's not hit. He went inside, and he looked for him down the wire, and he just blew him to pieces.
But you could say watching that right there. Granted, Justin had help from Zane in the middle of the field, where Shane couldn't have come up over the top really or played inside. But just you could see in the way Justin was playing, right, that he was completely in control of that.
Yes.
That entire situation.
Very calm.
That's why I was kind of trying to point out Shane, like, hey, at least get your attempt to do something. Don't let this guy stand over the top and kind of work you like that.
Well, when people get when they get into that rhythm, when they start to get calm, it's still doing what they need to do. So they're not taking it. It's a calm intensity. We've been in that situation. You're locked into the moment, and that's because no pressure is on you. And that's why we talk about pressure. And look at this. So Justin Rabikoff, he's able to blow him apart. But even before that, just the way he was playing that bunker, you could see he just gets up, takes a little duck in, keeps his gun up perfectly, and that's exactly how it needs to get done. So, nice work by Justin Rabikoff there. And Just kind of textbook way to play that snake. But that's a good point, though, Nick, because you don't want to let a really good player like Justin Rabikoff get locked in his zone. You want to be putting constant pressure, and that's when we talk about that pressure, what that is how accurate are your shot? How much are you engaging in gunfights? Basically, how much of a problem are you for that guy? Because if you're not a problem, then he's just going to get locked in that zone, get all set in, and he's going to start, then your mind starts going, looking for moves, processing the information, and that's basically what Impact is doing right now. And Vicious has had no punch. They're having a hard time living off the break. It's not looking good for Omaha Vicious, and the penalty, that's not going to help either.
No, not at all. You know what I was going to say right off the start of the game? I was going to give I was going to give Vicious a slight edge.
Well, that's not a bold claim. I mean, Vicious, they took second at the first event. They had to play in a relegation match, but they beat Art Chaos in that relegation match. That's a dominant team. Well, could be. In Europe, they've been dominant, but... So Vicious still starting down a body. 25 seconds left on that penalty. They break out wide, and they lose. It looks like Nate Schrader trying to get out, and then looks like Rainey Stanzik. He takes the walk.
Uncharacteristically taking the walk. He doesn't get shot much in the break.
Yeah,
however...
But with that open center, though...
Yeah, open center.
I spoke to Rainey during the break, and he has something wrong with his back, like something like a rib or...
He tweaked it.
There's something wrong there.
Yeah, but he's playing anyway. A lot of guys playing through some sort of slight injuries, and Vicious continuing to get just chewed up. Parker Rosenthal gets taken out. It was actually Alexander Borromeo that got shot the break by Nick Laval, and now it's just Shane Colby, Trevor Reeser. They have been able to get shots on Laval and Stanzik, so it's 3-on-3. Now it's 2-on-2, I think.
Yeah, someone got a good shot on Justin Cornell coming over the top of the snake. I don't know who that was, if he got shut down the tape by Shane Colby.
Well, it's only Colby's the only one left alive right now.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, Colby was in the snake against Justin Rabikoff. Like, it looks thus far across the last couple events that Shane is like their number one attacker anywhere.
I totally agree. When you look at Vicious, awesome play by those guys this season, but Shane Colby has become the workhorse for them. Remember in Dallas? I mean, he played so many points, and that was a brutal snake
and it was over and over.
Yeah,
right.
And
I mean, yeah, point after
over.
point, but it's like, hey, you're going to snake again.
And you're either wearing somebody out or you're getting worn out. But the thing about the ones is, even when you're wearing somebody out, a lot of times you're catching a half dozen anyway when you make that move.
Yeah.
So you're just getting tenderized constantly the entire time.
And when we were talking about that pressure, right? Justin getting that groove, you want Shane. They need Shane to be getting into that groove, right? Because if he's just going to be getting put out there and getting his head, blown to pieces.
And I thought this was a perfect layout for Shane.
And it is. It is. The problem is, though, is that when you see Shane line up on the snake side on this field, is it a one-on-one?
Yeah, I think it's down to a one-on-one. So right now it's up to Shane Colby, the man we were just talking about. He's going to have to try to pull off this one-on-one victory right here against Zach Yakmak. But check it out, though, Nick and Chris. With 15-19, we've seen 3 quick points. But if Colby can pull this one-on-one off, what that means is we got a 2-point game with a ton of time left.
Yeah, and he needs to pull this off. I don't see much pain on Zach's pack right now. And Zach knows he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's just going to listen to his sidelines. And wait for Shane to come to him. And Shane pulled off, I think he pulled off a one-on-one against Sam, not against us a couple years ago or in the last year.
Oh, nice shot on the loader.
It came off the bunker.
No.
Gosh.
But Shane's a smart player. And he
closes the gap. Shane Colby's going to go left, and he comes right around, and he's got to be really careful right here. Locked in a gun battle. Shane Colby, Zach Yakmak, who's going to take this? This is huge for Shane Colby. And So Zach Yakmak steps up to win the one-on-one against Shane Colby, who's shaking his head, walking off, and that actually might do it. There's still a lot of time left, but that 4-point spread. But that's the difference. If you win that one-on-one, you're Shane Colby. That takes it to be 3-1, 2-point game. Now Yakmak steps up for his team, and now it's a 4-point spread, and that's how crazy it is out there, man.
Yeah, I'm really interested now to see how Impact approaches this. If because they're a really smart team. You've got Dave Baines and you've got Bart looking at this. They're definitely going to take the reins, and I think they might change the tempo of this up a little bit, right?
Well, what they can do is they can now still get into those good spots. Let's check out this Planet Eclipse replay right here. So you're watching the replay of, this is a player for Vicious.
Zach Sherman coming out of the box.
I think, is it Parker?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Parker Rosenthal. So Parker comes out of the box, gets decimated, and there's Colby, last player left alive. And here's that one-on-one battle. Shane Colby fighting for his life in here. Right-handed against the left-handed, and then bam, comes around, smokes him left-handed. Woo! Nice job by Zach Yakmak to win that point, and amazing work. So congratulations to Zach Yakmak. 4-0 is the score. Still 14-27 left to play here. and we are going to be back right after this. So welcome back here, 14:27 to go. It has been 100% Edmonton Impact completely dominating the action out here as Omaha Vicious cannot get any sort of offense going. Not able to win that one-on-one. Shane Colby got dropped by Zach Yakmek. And so right now, we're going to start, at least they got rid of that penalty. Shane Colby trying to get to the snake on the split screen breakout for Vicious, but he gets taken out. And then here comes Justin Cornell. Yeah, Dave Baines, man. It's so hard to get through Baines' lane.
I know, I hate that. I used to hate that.
Yeah.
Look at Impact. They're taking the 50 Dorito onto your screen. Justin Cornell, as we talked about. But on the other side of the field, 50 Dorito already for Impact, but losing. Who is that walking up the field? I'm sorry, I can't show.
I'll tell you what,
I don't know who that is on the side.
guys, if Edmonton Impact can get the two Justins to play as well as they've been playing on this snake side and get that off-the-break shooting that Dave Baines and the Yakmeks have been doing, they could be the favorite here too. Which isn't a bold claim, but still, they're looking pretty phenomenal. Right?
I'd love to see them play the Russians right now after that last game.
They need.
Well, they got to. They'll play the Russians eventually here.
Yep.
Ooh.
They're playing them tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, Impact plays the Ironmen later on, last game of the day, 5:15 Central Time, and then tomorrow it's going to be Impact and Legion at 3:45, and then Impact and Aftershock to close out the prelim. So.
Maddie.
Yes.
I'm sorry to bother you. I saw a Yellowbird of Death out there.
Did you? What happened?
I'm not really sure, but I'll let you know in a second.
Talking a bit.
Was it on
Yeah.
Impact?
That's probably. He's going to the box.
It is. It's on Impact. You see a player sprinting in there.
You're probably right.
Flag.
You're probably right, Nick. Is that it probably was talking after your hit before you got off the field?
We got warned this
Yeah.
morning that they're the talking after you're hit, talking when you're dead. They're really going to start cracking down on that. And it's the new word is interference. It's interference. It's no longer.
Interference.
Talking
I'm not a fan of that.
Interference.
I'm not a fan. It doesn't affect
It,
the game.
it depends what you're doing. I think if you're
If
like,
I walk off and I'm like,
you're
hey, Chris, there's one at the 50 snake.
Yeah. something.
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah,
but
sure.
if it's kind of I don't
Just
know,
general
it's kinda
conversation.
ticky-tack stuff.
It's like, hey man, how'd you do your taxes this year yet?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things. But hey, they got it. The refs have a tough job out there, trying to maintain order all day long, 3 days in a row, every 12 games a day.
Yeah.
It's tough out there. The players come out and they play 2 games a day. The refs have to be out there mucking around in the mud, dealing with the humidity all day long. Everyone's trying to get one over on them. So I understand that there needs to be some strictness to maintain order. However, it's that kind of that fine line. But regardless, it is what it is, and you have to play. The refs aren't playing to you. You got to play to the refs. And you don't have to fight them and the other team. So. So penalty strikes, and it looks like Impact will be starting down a body. Maybe this is Vicious's chance. 13:07 left to go, but 5-0. I don't know. It's gonna take a miracle probably. We'll be right back after this.
Are you ready for an explosion of paintball videos? Then stay tuned to paintballaccess.com because the CXPL is back for their 10th anniversary season. Catch all the best pro talent north of the border as teams battle it out in full X-Ball matches. Paintballaccess.com, on the field, in the pits, behind the scenes.
So it looks like timeout called by Omaha Vicious, and kind of turning out to be a really nice afternoon here. Slightly overcast and still definitely muggy, but not too hot. We've seen way worse Chicago events before. 13:07 left to go. Can Vicious get back in this game?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just tough, man. I don't know, Nick. What do you think they need to do?
I think they need to shoot people on the break. I mean,
Yeah.
Vicious. I'm sorry. Infamous. Wow, there was my. I can't talk. Impact is
In
definitely
English, please.
in English. Yes, here we go. Impact is definitely making it out wide. They're going to both corners. Justin Cornell has consistently gone right around the snake corner into the snake. Vicious has got those guys on the team. Sherman, Rosenthal. They can shoot people.
Yeah.
And you haven't really seen any big kills in the break. for Vicious on the Impact side of things. So.
And it is tough on this field to find those lanes, as we have seen for some teams. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I am down here with Bart Yakimek in Impact's pit. You guys are up 5 points, 5-0. Were you expecting to get such a big lead, or were you expecting Vicious to give you a little bit more to defend against?
Well, we know they're a team that heavy on the gun, off the break with their guns, so we weren't sure how they were going to shut down our snake. It just seems like we got a lot of blood flow going right now. It's working really well for us, so we're getting ahead on them. And when you get down 2 or 3, it's tough to come back. So.
You guys are coming off another win, your second consecutive win in the Millennium Series. Do you think that really helps your attitude and team morale coming into this weekend?
Well, it is big time, especially for our guys where we've been second fiddle for a long, long time. So all of a sudden we got a couple wins over there. The confidence starts to come together. And again, we're back where the guys are believing in when they step on the field, and that's a big plus for us right now.
All right, well, Impact got second at MAO. They want that first. This is their first tournament of the weekend. We'll see if they take it. Blowout right now. It's 5-0.
Yeah, I love Bart Yakimek, man. Yeah, well, no, that's huge, man. That's just that tried and tested way to get the team morale up. If you have an awesome professional paintball team, and you're kind of struggling a little bit, and you have the capacity to go to Europe, if you can go over there and win some events, it gives you a little bit of that mental boost to come and play against the best in the world. And Impact is looking awesome right now, man. They're really kind of hitting it on every level of the 3-act structure of the game.
Yeah, both teams losing 1 player on the game. Actually, 2 going down right now. For Omaha Vicious, here comes a penalty.
Oh, 2 coming down for Impact, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, penalty. Was that a major, minor?
It was a minor penalty, and that was
Brian Bortle.
Right at the wrong spot, because they did pick up. Impact had a body in the box on the break, and they got a kill. They killed Zach on the break, trying to stand in a blind spot, and then. Would you say it was Shane Colby?
Yeah,
the penalty.
I thought it was Brian Bortle, but Shane Colby actually got the penalty on that.
And he was in the corner. I mean, this is in this situation. I mean, ask for the check, man. Don't try too much, because they had the gift playing 5-on-4. You killed an early body. It was 5-on-3, and then you pull that off. Even bodies, and then I think Justin stepped out and shot somebody. So. Yeah,
and then once the body dropped, Justin just went to town. Down the snake side unabated, able to take out that last player. So 2-pack for Justin Rabikoff. Randy Stanzik got a kill even with his bad back. Matt Sossman with that penalty. So Impact is decimating Vicious right now. Looking, man, I don't know. Vicious has been so strong, played some great games all year long. And to see them kind of come out here and get smoked by Impact this bad, definitely frustrating turn of events for the Omaha Vicious fans out there, and there's a lot of them, because they have such a great story, man. Such an amazing story, Omaha Vicious, fighting out of the Midwest. Not a lot of great teams to practice against. They didn't have the talent pool. They bootstrapped their homegrown talent up to be awesome professional players. Great story, but getting smashed by Impact right now. 12:15 to go, still some time. We'll be right back after this.
They say don't be perfect, be clutch. Being clutch is one of my biggest assets. You can rely on me to be clutch, and I rely on the Vanquish. My name is Damian Ryan. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
I shoot a lot of paint. It sounds simple, I shoot a lot of paint, but what that means is my gun.
Looking at one of Planet Eclipse Big Factory teams, Edmonton Impact, and Pure Production's been doing an awesome documentary series for them, brought to you by one of our partners, Paintball Nation. And look for us to be putting some games on PB Nation in the weeks after this event, so you're going to be able to, check out these games here. So Edmonton Impact, a little bit of time left on that penalty. Slight bit of a power play here for Omaha Vicious. Omaha Vicious, though, bodies walking off again. They lose Parker Rosenthal, Matt Sossman.
They went on the wrong horn.
Yeah, and then right now
nothing's going right for them, Chris.
Impact down to 2 players, though.
Yeah, Impact down to 2 players. Great movement on the Dorito tape by the Vicious player. Unfortunately, he didn't shoot anyone.
He did make a great move, but
he made a great move, but he just took too big of a bite and got picked up, I think, by Zach looking crossfield from the snake can. And what's unfortunate too is all those bodies dropped, and now towards the end of this point, Brian Bortle just got into the snake.
Well,
it looks like
might be able to save this point at least. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice job, Brian Bortle. Yeah. Nice job by Brian Bortle. Maintains the mental tenacity even though craziness is happening. Grabs that flag. So a little bit of life here for Omaha Vicious. Nice work by Brian Bortle to keep that focus when craziness was happening around him. As a little bit of an early start there for Vicious, and when that happens, if you can't tag back up, you're going to get called out.
I want to hear what Todd's saying right now in the pit.
Probably blowing up, making people do push-ups.
Chime in on that?
Do laps.
They're doing laps right now around the pits.
Well, yeah, and it's a good thing that this is Vicious's first game, right? Because those kind of mistakes, and those happened to us against X Factor game and the Tampa Bay game. Both teams went early on the horn, and both of us lost bodies. But things like that happening, and when coming from, say, I've gotten the crap kicked out of me. When you're down like this, it's just one thing after another. That's gonna take it out of you. So hopefully, hey, it's 6-1 now. There's still plenty of time left in the game. Anything can happen, right? A couple majors on this side, some shenanigans over here, mud in the eye over there. Who knows what could happen? But keep your head up. Right, so that's I'm not so much yet. Hey, Todd's me yelling and screaming at his guys, but hey, guys, hey, wake up! Let's look each other in the eye. Let's get focused. We lost 2 bodies silly because we went on the wrong horn, but we still pulled that point out.
Well, there's a difference between positive intensity and negative intensity.
That's why I wanted to see what Todd was doing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can blow up and scream at your guys and point fingers and accuse and that whole thing, or you can, Rusty always used to say when we were on excessive, don't get down, get up. And so, you can, if you're an emotional player, some guys are emotional. You're not going to keep them quiet in the pits. Todd's an emotional leader. And so, but that's one of those things is that with Vicious, I mean, I'd be flipping out right now if I was leading the charge for them because this game's been terrible for them. But, Bortle stepped up there in that last point. He was able to keep their hopes alive. So with 11 minutes and 23 seconds left, so Impact has scored 6 points within the framework of about 8.5 minutes. And so now Vicious has more than that to try to get back in this game. They just have to fix the glaring errors they've had. And it's going to be really tough, honestly, of course. But, it's possible. I mean, we've seen X Factor have some crazy comebacks this year.
Yeah, and at this Chicago event, plenty of crazy things have happened. There you got the split screen breakout. Both teams getting to the snake on the break, or shortly thereafter the break. Shane and JC Justin.
And this is the opportunity potentially.
Can I say I called it?
You did call it. So a major penalty now hits, but can Vicious take advantage of it? They do have 5 bodies alive. They got great position. I think that is Nate Schrader, who's in a really good spot over on the D side of the field. But then he wears it.
And Justin Rabikoff right now is hit all over the pack.
Is he?
Here comes another penalty.
And here comes another penalty. Good call, Chris.
Yeah, that was a good eye in the sky, Chris.
Soy, eye in the sky, sees things that no one else does.
Yeah.
But say Shane Colby's got to listen to his coach and listen up and hear that almost everyone on Impact's dead. Get on his feet, jump the highway, and go bunker out JC.
Yeah, to maintain the power play.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because, they're going to, obviously a body's going to come out.
Run into a gun.
That's not what you want to do.
Colby, come on, man. So Colby runs into Cornell's gun, and now the window of opportunity is starting to close here for Vicious. They still have bodies left, though, and just Justin Cornell left. But the time's ticking off, Nick.
And Impact's going to get, if they lose this, they're going to get a body back no matter what. Yep. That's that major penalty you want to preserve. And hopefully Brian Bortle, who's in the snake corner for Vicious, knows this now that Justin's on one left. He's got to get in the snake, man. I don't know who he's shooting at or what he's doing. And it seems like over these last 2 games we watched, the Dorito side has got it way more. They're way more in tune with what's going on the snake side, and you think they'll be a little different because people are yelling at the snake side.
I agree with that. The past 2 games, both the Shock game and, at least for Shock, because, Shock didn't look good in the snake at all. But yeah, I think the D side is definitely more in tune.
I mean, watch Justin come out after a minute and shoot somebody. Watch Vicious not know that the box is going to come out and he's going to get a kill right now. Oh, he just came out.
Good.
But both Impact players run to their death, and again it's Brian Bortle stepping over here up on the snake side to maintain his team's chances in this game. So Brian Bortle is really come through here at the end or in the middle part of this match, but kind of at the end if you're rooting for Impact, because Impact only needs to put 1 more point up on the board. But Vicious showing some life, and Brian Bortle again kind of putting the team on his back out here. And good job by Trevor Reeser as well. But now that's Brian Bortle, 5 confirmed kills here in pretty much the past 2 points.
Yeah.
So really good job by Brian Bortle to stay focused regardless of the fact that they're losing badly now. And in worst case, at least it's point spread. how many times
No,
we've
it's
seen
huge.
that, man. We've seen this so many times. 1 or 2 points separates these teams, which sometimes decides whether or not you're playing in that relegation game or not.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's no fun. No, you're right, Matty. You need every point out here counts. So don't just, hey, we're down 6-0. Let's just be done and get out of here.
Exactly. So, man, Brian Bortles getting it done. Trevor Reeser, too. We'll be right back after this. 9:15 left to go.
There are massive opportunities, both for the sport of paintball and for your business. If we are successful in taking our sport to another level, unite with Paintball Access in our quest to elevate paintball and broadcast it to the world. There are advertising packages available for any size business. Join us. Advertise with PBA and help us change the sport for the better, forever.
So we're getting right back into this next point. Do or die time from Omaha Vicious. They send Shane Colby all the way to the snake, and it looks like he makes it. I hear air leaking, though. Do you hear that? You think that's Shane Colby's gun?
No, I think it might be somewhere in the pits. You know what? I'm not sure where it was, but I do know one thing, that Vicious let Impact get out of the box, and that's a big no-no.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, at least they had 20% out of their guns. You know, so you got Shane Colby, I believe, in the snake right now.
Yep.
I mean, he's been playing.
Oh, and Justin Rabikoff gets shot out of his bunker, so here comes Vicious. 5 alive for Omaha Vicious.
And who's in the snake for Impact? Nick Laval.
Nick Laval.
That's what I like to see. Nick represent.
I'm a Nick Laval fan, man. I'm waiting for him to kind of emerge from his cocoon and become a top-level pro paintball player. I think it lives inside him. I just waiting to see it actually happen.
Definitely.
That's a great comment, Matty. I mean, he's one of those players you just kind of wait for coming out of his shell to blossom like an acorn turning into a flower, as you would put it something like earlier.
Oak trees.
Oak trees. Yeah. Oak tree.
You see an acorn turn into a flower. I want to see that.
Yeah, you know. It's all relevant.
Whatever. Yeah. We can mix up our metaphors.
You know what? Anything's possible.
You missed Matty confusing me earlier. It was really great. So anyway, Shane Colby on your screen, backed up right now. You know, coming back, 2 points unanswered. Edmonton Impact 6-2 over Omaha Vicious right now.
Yeah, well, let's see if Nick Laval can start to earn those stripes, so to speak, that we talk about when you try to get that glory. But he's in position at Impact, only down 1, and time is not in Vicious's friend right now. Here comes Trevor Reeser. Trevor Reeser coming down to take out Nick Laval, and he does. And I think Nick Laval might have actually got both those guys. Nick Laval trying to get him to come out too. He's trying to sell it to the ref.
Here it comes.
Laval selling it to the ref, and he's gonna pull him, and it's gonna be a penalty.
Is he gonna do it?
Is he gonna throw it? Oh, he didn't throw it.
So what was going through that ref's state of mind right there?
He's like, do I have my cell phone on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and with that, hey, Impact just lost their whole snake side, and I don't know who it is for Vicious, but they need to get on their
Probably
horse.
Bortle. I'd send Bortle back out again after the 2 awesome points.
That's actually number. I think that's
Rosenthal?
It's
he's got the hat on.
Well, number 1 is Sherman.
So that's why I thought it was, because it came out of the box.
Well, Sherman, number 1 is Sherman, but it might be Rosenthal with Sherman. It is. It's Rosenthal with Sherman's loader. Rosenthal getting it done, as well as I think that was a Nate Schrader tearing it up over there on the D side. So Nate Schrader, the rookie for Vicious, trying to make a name for himself, and it looks like now Vicious slowly but surely getting back into this game. The score is now 6-3. And things are getting a little bit. Chris is smiling at me right now. Things are getting interesting, Chris.
I like this, man. I mean, as Infamous, we've been up 25,000 points and lost. You know, I mean, I just like seeing. I like seeing teams.
Hey, I know. I remember
you.
one game in Orlando one year when I was playing with Excessive. It was just like it was halves, and we were playing like 10, 15 minute, whatever, long ass games. And so we're out there, and so we were murdering Dynasty in the first half, and I'm thinking we got this game for sure. Sure enough, they come back because we pumped the brakes. Impact's pumping the brakes right now, as you see the brakes not being pumped by Trevor Reeser on that run through. But Nick Laval was able to trade out. Let's look at it from the opposite angle.
And the fact he got both of them is just awesome, actually.
Yeah, so Trevor Reeser running the highway is able to get the shot in on him, but then maybe he missed him.
I think that Shane Colby shot Nick Laval.
Yeah, I think you're right. I 100% think you're right.
Nate put his hand up as he was coming down the highway, right? And you know what? That's one thing too. You could really see in that replay is that Nate went. Was that Nate that he made that move?
Down the D side. It was Trevor Reeser.
Trevor Reeser made that move down the highway, and Shane looked inside and saw him. Was like, "Oh crap! I better get my gun up on the tape."
Yeah.
Like, hey, get a code word for that. I'd say our code word, but everyone's gonna listen to it and they'll know it, so I can't say it out loud. But we have a code word for that. And you know what? That if you get that communication, like, hey man, look for the blank. Well, I know in my head, I hear that word.
Is that the word?
The code word's blank. That's kind of a weird.
Did I give it up?
Word.
That's so dumb.
It was abracadabra. My vote was abracadabra.
Abracadabra. That too childish.
Bippity boppity boop.
People call these bunkers the most ridiculous childish names ever, and abracadabra was too childish for you guys.
Well,
whatever. Teach their own. Teach their own.
Too many
Tomato,
syllables.
tomato, whatever. That is a lot of syllables.
Yeah.
Here we go. Omaha Vicious on your screen. Coming out of 6-3. 3 unanswered points. Here they come, Maddie.
Yeah, but they lose Parker Rosenthal, one of their big guns, off the break. They also lose their attacker and Shane Colby, so just 3 bodies. It's not looking good right now for Omaha Vicious. Edmonton Impact trying to put that last point on the board. They also lose Nate Schrader, and here comes Reeser as well. And then Sotsman gets tapped out immediately after that. So, wow. Lots of deaths out of bunkers, and it was just a matter of time until Edmonton Impact put that 7th point on the board, spreading the kills around 2. Rainey Stanzik 3, Zach Yakmek 3, Zane Yakmek stepped up to get 7. Justin Rabikoff 7 confirmed kills, and Big Dave Baines, he got 7 as well, shooting lots of players off the break, and that's why you pay Dave Baines.
Yeah, I was just going to actually say that. When you see Dave Baines walking from bunker to bunker to bunker without really stopping and have a pod on top of his loader the whole time, you definitely know you're in trouble.
But it's when people get into that comfort zone. But it's with Vicious, they lost 2 guys off the break, and as soon as those 2 guns come off.
That point that you just saw there, that last point, was a mirror image of the first 4 points they played. Mm-hmm. Right? You had JC, Justin Cornell getting to the snake on the break. Justin Rabikoff came right behind him. They got a quick kill in the center. Dave Baines looks like got that kill on Shane Colby going out wide, which freed up Cornell and Justin. Justin immediately got to the 50 snake. Justin Rabikoff, wrapped around his bunker and could apply pressure, so no one could really shoot at JC and the snake. And Zane went running down the Dorito side. That was
beautiful. That was Impact. That was Impact doing it like it's supposed to be done. So congrats to Edmonton Impact taking their first win of this tournament. They have another game to close out the day against the Los Angeles Ironmen. Vicious is going to go 0-1. They have another game against Aftershock. So both those teams, Aftershock and Vicious, playing for their lives in this tournament. And the next one, as it's going to be, they're both 0-1. But next up, do not go anywhere. We have the Los Angeles Ironmen. They are going to be taking on Moscow Red Legion. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a great game.
Yeah, right there, Omaha Vicious coming back 3 unanswered points. Coming up on Edmonton Impact, but taking it finally 7-3.
Yeah, so let's check in with Lauren Kelly. She's down on the sidelines.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm standing here with Rainey Stanzik of Impact. They just beat Vicious 7-2. Congratulations. Now, we have seen a lot of big point spreads today. 7-2, 7-1, 7-0. What do you think is going to ultimately separate the successful teams from the unsuccessful ones on this layout?
It's this field. It's easy to get quick kills, get up the field, make those moves. But what's going to separate the good teams from the bad teams are pulling back those close points. This field is just a really fast-paced field. So if you can pull back one game in a whole match, that's going to be huge. And, the less experienced teams, that's what they're going to struggle on.
Definitely. Were you surprised by how Vicious initially started out? They started out slow. You had that 5-point spread. It looks like you were going to close it out pretty quick.
No, we kind of came out with a game plan, and we were executing it, and we were just doing what we needed to do, and then we made a couple mistakes. We threw away a high body count situation. I got a penalty. Another guy got a penalty, so we kind of let him back into that match, but when we settled things down, we were able to close it out.
When you guys saw this layout released. Were you excited to play it? Did you prefer this one over the one in MAO, or did you like that one better?
I like to play slow fields. I know a lot of the guys on our team like to play fast fields, so I think a majority of the guys are happy, minus myself and maybe like Dave Baines.
All right. Do you think we're going to see anyone run down to that A and play that middle section?
I think it's possible, but I just think the sides are so good, it's just not really, there's no too much value going up to the middle.
And who do you suspect are going to be the most successful teams on this field layout this weekend?
If I had to guess, probably Impact. That'd be my guess.
Good guess. Well, you're doing good so far. Congratulations. Impact won again versus Vicious 7-2. Next up, we're going to have Ironmen versus Moscow Red Legion. The Russians won their first match. We'll see if they can keep it up. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I am here on the sidelines. We are about to go into the Ironmen versus Moscow Red Legion match, but I wanted to bring you updates from the Challenger field. During the first half of the morning, if you missed it, Infamous went undefeated 0-2, as did Red Storm. They won both of their matches as well. Union went 1-1, and Boom and Excessive lost both of their matches this morning. Up after the break was VCK versus Revo. VCK won 6-4. There were tons of penalties versus that match, but VCK was able to pull it out. Then Art Chaos played their first game on the Challenger field. They won 7-2 against CEP. That's what's going on the Challengers field. We'll be coming right back here on the Champions field with Ironmen versus Moscow Red Legion. Stay tuned.